Hi everyone, this is our ballot measure project over Amendment 77 and its goal of getting local voter approval to increase bet size and game types in Blackhawk, Cripple Creek, and Central City areas.
Amendment 77, Proposition and History. What will happen if Amendment 77 is passed? If local voters in the three gaming cities approve the amendment, then the Colorado Gaming Commission will create new rules for the new games, and bet sizing as soon as May 1st, 2021. Also, gaming tax revenue will go to community colleges and programs.
And what is the history of Amendment 77? In 1990, Colorado voters passed a constitutional amendment allowing bets up to $5 on slot machines, blackjack, and poker. Only in the three gambling cities, though. The bet limit and operation hours soon expanded with a passing of an amendment in 2008 to allow for more games as well as bets up to $100. In most recent changes, casino and online sports betting was legalized in 2019. Raffles, bingo, and the state lottery are not affected by these past amendments.
A yes vote in the local election would mean that the distribution of the gaming tax would go to Colorado Community College. A yes vote would mean an expansion of games as well as ante for those games, meaning citizens could bet more money. The one leading this initiative is Bruce Brown, former mayor of Cripple Creek, along with former Colorado Senate President Bill Caveman. Bruce claims that voters in these communities should be allowed to decide what is best for them and their economy, including whether they want to change betting limits and add new games. These gaming cities have been hit by COVID and have been restricted by their number one tourist attraction, gaming. They also have to compete with gambling capitals like Las Vegas. Therefore, passing this amendment will grant a boost in the Colorado state economy. After Amendment 50 was passed in 2008, the tax revenue grew from $9 million in 2009 to $20 million in 2019. Passing Amendment 77 would see an even steeper rise in the gaming tax revenue.
5 facts about a no vote. Gambling has been labeled as a mental health epidemic by many countries, as well as 10 million Americans suffer from gambling addiction, according to the Recovery Village website. Expanding gambling may exhibit problems like traffic, intoxicated driving, and suicide in places that have no vote in the matter. All Colorado voters deserve a vote in gambling amendment as it will affect the state in many ways. This act may open the door for other methods of gambling, like neighborhood slot machines and underground gambling scenes. Gambling tax is an unstable source of money for Colorado community colleges, according to the League of Women Voters.
Argument for Amendment 77. These towns have built much of their local economies around hotels, restaurants, tourism, and travelers who visit because of gaming. Voters in these communities should be allowed to decide what is best for them and their economy, including whether they want to change betting limits and add new games. Quote by Bruce Brown, former mayor of Cripple Creek and initiative leader.
By using the market mechanism of gambling, the three towns are able to maximize profit, and as gambling towns, they act collectively to increase profit to support their growing populations. They are the only successful towns in Colorado who utilize gambling, which benefits tourism and out-of-state money influx, which is heavily needed after the arrival of COVID-19. 78% of the gambling taxes go towards Colorado community colleges as a public good, and the remaining 22% will go back to the three gambling cities and their counties. By increasing gambling bets, the tax revenue received is much greater, resulting in a positive externality for the state. The cities do what they are best at, and that is casinos. Therefore, they should have the final say as to what kind of bets and games are made and played to maximize tax revenue and profit.
This is the graph for gaming tax revenue in millions. Its goal is to show that ever since the 2008 gaming amendment, the gaming tax revenue has increased, the increase being in navy blue. And if Amendment 77 were to be passed, these numbers would only climb due to the increase of money allowed to be played.
In the argument against Amendment 77, only citizens of Cripple Creek, Blackhawk, and Central Cities are allowed to say on the vote, which causes a collective action problem in the sense that not every citizen of the state gets to vote on the matter of the game and bet expansion. However, every citizen of Colorado gets to go and use these casinos. This can create negative externalities like gambling addiction, which is plagued with by social issues like lower work productivity, family and self-abuse, substance abuse, and higher crime. The same way that everybody does not get a vote, not everybody will get the same help that they need if they're suffering from gambling's negative externalities. Because no gambling tax revenue was set aside to help the harmed ones. Sounds like a perverse incentive.
In conclusion, Amendment 77's goal is to increase the bet sizes and game options to better maximize profit for the three gaming cities and increase gaming tax revenue for the state's community colleges. This amendment also excludes the entire voter population of Colorado. Only the voters of Cripple Creek, Black Hawk, and Central Cities get a vote on the proposition. There has been three gaming amendments passed in the last 30 years, and Amendment 77 would make that the fourth gambling amendment passed.
Thanks, guys.